Huh?
Objection, improper question, Your Honor.
I'm not sure he can answer that question.
Do you believe that by seeing that picture of that person, whoever it is, the person you see around sometimes, did that in any way verify what you told the police?
I mean, that's basically just, you put a do you believe in front of it, but it's, I mean, what he believes about it isn't relevant.
Did the police ever do anything to show you, or the district attorney, to corroborate your statement to the police? I understand what you're saying, that it was made up. But did they ever do anything to say, to try to tie it to that person? Did the police ever do that to you? Or the district attorney's office?
I don't even remember. I don't know. I don't hear nothing about him.
Okay. All right. I want to talk with you about your statements to the police. That Jeffrey, that you were with Jeffrey when you were getting calls from the police, okay? There was some discussion like that. And it's, Your Honor, is JW Jeffrey Williams 240T, as in terrific, States Exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron. It's again June 10, 2015. This is at 9:50:35 a.m. to 9:51:48 a.m. I'm sorry. Of course. 9:50:35 a.m. 9:51:48 a.m. And if you hear this, Mr. Copeland, if I'm, just make sure that after you listen to it, I'm correct. You said, I'm like, don't worry about it, N. But anyway, long story short, the detective was calling my phone. You know what I mean? And he was right there. The detective said, Thug was right there? You said, yeah. You said, so I answered the phone, and he looking at me like this, but I don't know what's going on. Detective says, why is he looking at you like that? You said, because he see me answering the phone for them. Detective said, but at what point does Thug have anything to say, nuts murder, to be looking at you in any kind of way, like, don't worry about that, like this and that? And you said, I'm fixing to give it to you. Detective said, please, we've been waiting for months. You said, no, I ain't. Guess what? I heard he was trying to kill me, but I ain't. This is what happened. I answered the phone. Hello? Yeah, this. I knew it was the detective calling. Detective said, the one that's handling the murder case? You said, no, different detective. Detective said, okay. You said, I thought one of them was you. My sister said that. She described, you know what I mean? But she was just like a man. Detective said, right. So you said, so I just thought she was talking about you. Detective said, okay. You said, so she was like, detective's called. All right. So I answered the phone, and he's right there. So I was like, yeah, indiscernible. So I don't know what that means. I couldn't understand it. This and that, man, they just talking to me. And he was just looking at me, but I ain't think, because I ain't did nothing. So I'm like, SHI blank. I'd like you to just listen to this, if you don't mind, and tell me if this is what you're saying, and I'd like to ask you some questions.
All right. Don't worry about it, nigga. But anyway, long story short, the detective was calling my phone. You know what I mean? And he was right there. Yeah. So I answered the phone, and he looking at me like this. So, well, I don't know what's going on. Why are you looking at you like that? Because he see me answer the phone for him. But at what point does Thug have anything to say about Nuts murder and be looking at it any kind of way, like, don't worry about that? Like, I'll get to you. Please, we've been waiting months. No, it ain't. Guess what? Well, I heard you try to him, but I ain't. This way, I answered the phone. Hello? Yeah, this I knew it was the detective call. The one that's handling the murder case? Nah, it was different detectives. I went on too. My sister said that she described it. You know what I mean? But she was just like a man. I thought she was my too. So she was like, detective call Ice. So I answered the phone, and he right there. So I'm like, yeah, this chemical company, what's this and that. And they just talking to me. And he just looked at me, but I didn't think he could. I didn't need that. So I'm like, shit, nigga. Yeah.
Mr. Copeland, what I said, was that substantially right, according to what you just heard?
That's what it sounds like.
Did the police ever come to you, or the district attorney's office ever come to you and discuss with you whether or not anything about you were around Jeffrey when police are calling and his impression of it or reaction to it? They ever do anything to verify that, to your knowledge?
No.
It's made up, right?
But they said that their own mouth. You heard them in the investigation. You ain't giving us nothing. You bushing us. I mean, like they knew what I was doing. My stomach hurt bad, Judge. I feel like I got cramps.
Now the boy up in there PMSing.
Can I ask you a question? Okay. This is JW 241E as in Aaron, State's Exhibit number 378YA as in Elisa. This is January 11th, 2015. This is 4:13:31 a.m. to 4:13:59 a.m. And specifically, this is you telling Detective Thorpe that Jeffrey, that you wanted to retaliate after the shooting of Donovan Thomas. People were shooting your family's homes. You want to retaliate, and Jeffrey telling you, don't do that, let 12 handle. Okay, just listen, okay?
Basically, like, she said, y'all did it. I had went down to her house and, like, see what going on. Like, bro, these folks can't shot this young mom house. Like, for real. Yeah, I'm like, bro, what I supposed to do, bro? Like, man, get out of the way, bro. Let 12 handle that. 12 deal with that. That's all he kept saying. Like, man, bro, you talking about let police handle that and deal with that, bro. These folks kill my family. He said, like, man, folks, God, he know them better than that. I mean, them folks, man. I don't.
Were you able to hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I heard.
And is it fair to say that you told Detective Thorpe about 7-8 hours after the shooting of Donovan Thomas that Jeffrey's reaction to all this is let 12 handle?
Say it again.
Okay. Jeffrey's reaction when you were saying that people are shooting at your family's homes, God forbid, Jeffrey told you let 12 handle. That's what you told the police, right?
Now I tell the police anything to try to get them out my face.
Okay. And tell the jurors, if you don't mind, who is 12?
Who?
Who is 12?
Who is 12?
Yeah.
Shit, they know the police.
I want to talk with you about your statements to law enforcement. This is JW240U as in unbelievable. It's State's Exhibit number 378YE as in Aaron. This is 10:58:11 a.m. to 10:58:46 a.m. This is again June 10th, 2015. And Mr. Copeland, just to orient you, this is where you're talking to the police about Jeffrey supposedly want to have you killed, okay?
Have who killed?
Remember that?
Have who killed?
You.
Me?
Yeah, that's what you told the police. I'm going to read it, and then you tell me. Well, I'm going to say what I think it said, but you correct us. You said, it ain't none of that. It ain't. This is what only thing, when the police called, bruh, he seen me talking to them, and he just feel as I ain't supposed to say nothing. You know what I mean? He just want me to just let y'all put one on me for murder. You know what I mean? That's what he want. Detective said, and Sam called and not saying nothing. And you said, that's what he wanted. That's what I feel like deep inside my heart. Like I ain't even told my brother. I ain't tell nobody that this N is trying to have me killed. I ain't tell my baby mama, you know what I mean? Detective said, right. You said, it was a feeling like when Nut first died and everybody was coming, screaming my name, seen how nervous and scared I was. If you could listen to it, if you don't mind.
It ain't none of that. It ain't just what all I'm saying, he just, when the police come up, bro, he seen me talking to him. And he just feel, and then I ain't supposed to say nothing. You know what I mean? He just want me to just try to put one of me for murder. I mean, that's what he wants. And stand tall and not say nothing. That's what he wants. That's what I feel like deep inside my heart. Like, I just told my brother, I ain't tell nobody about something that they try to kill. I ain't tell baby mama. I mean,
And then I'd like to play for you Jeffrey Williams 240W. As in wonderful, it states exhibit number 378YE as in Aaron. It's at 10:58:50 a.m. to 10:59:09 a.m. So it's right after where we stopped. So it's really a continuation. And I'd like you to listen to this and focus on your statement that, you know what I mean? It was, I got scared to be around him, be told, the truth be told, I got scared. I told my baby mama, like you can call her now, man, we gotta go, man. I think that N thug, like that night they shot at us. When I was telling you all that story, in my heart, I was like, darn, but it says another word, that N thug trying to get me killed, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I got scared to be around. Be told, truth be told, I got scared. I told baby mom, are you calling him? Man, we gotta go, man. I think we do. Like when that night they shot at it. When I'm telling y'all the story with it, in my heart, I just like, man, they thug trying to get me killed. You know what I mean?
Did you hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I heard it.
So in those two back-to-back recordings that we heard, the JW240U and the JW240W, on the first one, you said to the police that you ain't tell nobody that this N's trying to have me killed. I ain't tell my baby mama. And then in the second one, the JW240W, you said, truth be told, I got scared. I told my baby mama. Did the police ever ask you about that and push back and say, how do you say that?
How do you say what?
Yeah, that you didn't tell your child's mother, and you did tell your child's mother. Did they ever do anything like that?
I think they just try to make me feel comfortable. Like they talk to me to try to make me feel comfortable to open up to them. So that's what I was thinking. I don't know. I telling people anything. I ain't care about getting caught up in a lie. But I was trying to be as convincing as possible.
Okay. I'd like to go into JW240V, as in Victory. It states exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron. It's June 10, 2015. Mr. Copeland's 10:20:39 a.m. to 10:21 even, or 10:21:00 a.m. And this, I'd like you to focus on what you talked about with Valerie told you that Jeffrey wanted to set you up. And you said that, yeah, but see, Valerie got in the car. She was like, hey, bro, I'm going to tell you something. Don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what's up? She like, thug, this and that and that. And I'm like, detective said, no. And then you said, now I'm like, what you mean? And she like, don't trust this N, bruh. You know what I mean? He trying to set you up, talking about every time I go out, I got out of jail, something got shot up. Detective says, uh-huh. Can you listen to that for me?
All right.
Thank you.
But see, Valerie got in close, she's like, hey bro, I'm gonna tell you something, don't say nothing. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's up? She's like, dog, this and this. I'm like, no, nah, what you mean? She like, I didn't don't trust this nigga, bro. You know what I mean? They would be trying to set you up. Somebody every time I got in jail, someone got shot up.
So you're saying every time you got out of jail, something got shot up. That's what you're telling the police, right?
That's what I told the police.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
And that Valerie told you don't trust Jeffrey. Remember that?
That's what I said.
Yeah. And did the police ever come to you, or did you get any information from Valerie or someone else at the police or the prosecution ever tried to verify that that conversation occurred with Valerie?
After this interview right here, I went to the feds probably like 2-3 weeks later. I haven't heard anything about this interview all the way up until they brought me in this trial.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about no investigation all the way up until this trial.
Okay. To your knowledge, did the police or the prosecution ever just simply go to Valerie and say, did this happen?
Yeah, yes, sir. I don't know.
I'd like to show you what the prosecution showed you yesterday. It's State's Exhibit number 60W, as in wonderful, A as in Elisa. It's timestamp 208. Ms. Knight, do you mind helping me? Thank you. Do you remember seeing this yesterday, Mr. Copeland, this photograph that Ms. Hilton showed you?
Yeah.
And she said, and you verified that that's Valerie, remember that?
I think it's so.
How does, from your understanding, how does showing you State's Exhibit number 60WA verify that Valerie had a conversation with you in a car that don't trust Jeffrey?
Objection, Your Honor. Improper question, speculation.
I'm not asking to
Vague.
speculate.
Vague.
Okay. Can you tell the jury, how showing you State's Exhibit 60WA verified anything that you said to the police on June 10th,
Objection.
2015?
Objection, vague, and it's the same question. Just reframed.
Sustained.
Besides that being a photograph or an image of a video, what does that picture mean to you that you were shown yesterday?
That she was dirty as hell back in the day.
Thank you, sir. All right. I'd like to go into JW24X as an X-ray. That State's Exhibit number 378YE as an errand, June 10, 2015, from 4:13:34 p.m. to 4:14:46 p.m. Specifically, Detective Dennis asked you, what does Birdman have to do with all of this? And you answered, Birdman's quiet. Detective Dennis said, he don't tell them to calm down. You said, Birdman, he don't talk in front of us. Detective Dennis said, he don't. Y'all like that? And you said, but he like, yeah, he right there. He talked to me a lot, but it don't be about nothing. Detective Dennis said, small talk. You said, yeah. What the H, this N talking about? Detective Dennis then I can't understand what he's saying. And then you say, it sound like it. Detective Dennis said, you think so? You said, I don't think he did it. I don't know. Detective Dennis said, so with all this stuff with Nut, what was his reaction to it? Meaning Birdman. You said, from me to you, he was trying to pay them to keep quiet. Detective Dennis asked you, pay who to keep quiet? You said them. Detective Dennis said, who is them? You said, Nuts folks. Detective Dennis said, oh, just go about their business? You said, yup. Detective Dennis, here, take this, shut the HELL up, leave it alone. You said, I think it was $200,000. Detective Dennis said, a payoff. You said, I heard that right my own ears. Detective Dennis said, who he supposedly paid to? And you said, Fly. Detective Dennis said, who is Fly? You said, the man who owned the TIG. It's kind of a way y'all can just man, if you don't mind listening to this.
What does Birdman have to do with all this?
Birdman quiet.
He don't tell him to calm down?
Man, Birdman, nah, he don't talk for him.
love y'all like that.
He won't leave right now. He talk to me a lot, but it don't be about that. It's just
Small talk.
yeah, what the hell nigga talking about?
Do we get it?
It sound like
You think so?
I don't think he is. I don't know.
So with all the stuff with that, what was his reaction to?
Comedian, I'm trying to pay them to keep quiet.
Play who to keep quiet?
Damn.
Who was that?
Great folks.
Oh, let's go about that business.
Yeah.
Here, take this, shut the hell up, leave it alone.
I think it was 200,000.
Pay off.
I heard it by my own ears.
Who is supposed to pay it to?
Fly.
Who's fly?
The man who owned the elected TIG.
Cooper, what I said, was that fairly accurate to what you told the Detective Dennis?
I tell the police anything.
Sure. Did the police ever come to you, the district attorney's office, and ever discuss with you anything to, let's corroborate this?
All the way up to this point, even today, they never sat down and asked me nothing about nothing I said in the interviews.
I'm the first one to do this?
Yeah, you the only one that did this to me.
Did you bring up Birdman, or did Detective Dennis bring up Birdman?
I think he did.
And then you just started talking about him,
That's what I'm gonna do.
like you've been telling the jurors.
He bring up your name. I'm gonna have something for you.
I want to talk with you about Jeffrey Williams 240Y, as in yesterday. State's exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron. It's June 10, 2015 again. Interrogation. It's from 10:10:23 a.m. to 10:10:51 a.m. And Mr. Copeland, if you can listen to this and tell us if this is you talking about Jeffrey was going to buy the gun that was found at the Dunbar Recreational Center for $1,000, if this is what you're talking about with the police, okay?
So when I got the gun, I got it from Greenstone. So I went up to the pub to go play baseball, but I'm waiting on him to come get it. So waiting on who to come get it? Legina. So his brother pulled up. I mean, you talking about the big counter with the clean. Okay. His brother pulled up to get it. I mean, they like, so gonna give me $1,000 for it. I mean, so I was just looking at the gun. But I don't know if he is.
It's going to be my same question. Anything besides what you told the police to verify that Jeffrey was going to buy a gun for $1,000 at the Dunbar Recreational Center gun?
They didn't even believe me.
Miss Hilton asked you yesterday, towards the end of your testimony with her, she said, but all you were talking about were people, the only people committed crimes was Jeffrey and other people maybe here, like Little D and Nard, etc. Do you remember that type of question that she asked you?
I don't even understand what you're saying.
Okay. Do you remember telling the police that Rich Homie Quan took out, put $25,000 to kill Tay? Remember telling him that?
See, I told the police that. Told you, I wanted them to believe I knew information, and that they can rely on me. That's my whole motive when they were questioning me. If they go for it and they let me walk away, they got to catch me on the back end.
Okay. Do you remember telling the police that Rich Homie Quan would buy guns for YFN Lucy and his people and store them?
I can't tell the police nothing that's going on in with people that I'm not around. So it's self-explanatory that I made it up.
Did the police ever come to you or the prosecution, meaning the district attorney's office, and say, hey, we want to go over what you said to see if we could verify it?
No, I haven't heard anything until this trial. Only person come talk to me is Miss Hills, but I can't. Like, she asked me, have I heard some calls? She let me hear the calls. Like, I don't recall her asking me specific questions.
Okay. I'd like to play for you Jeffrey Williams 244A as an Lisa. It's a January 28th, 2015 interview. It's 7/23/53. You get nothing. And they typically don't let you stay in Atlanta. They might ship you off somewhere clear across the country. So whatever you do, and then you say, darn, but you said a different word, my head hurt. Agent Cunningham said, I'll go back and tell the United States attorney that's assigned to this case, this is what he did to help himself out. It pans out. Or I can go back and tell her, this is what he said. We found out it was a lie. He's continuing to play games. The judge do what they want to do. So before we can even get started, especially while I'm sitting here, everything is on you because I've never talked to you before. So with me, you almost get a clean slate to help yourself. If you do lies, I don't, because I got too much other stuff to do and would hate to have to go back and tell the U.S. attorney, but he's lying, he's full of crap. It's up to you. You said, before I lie, then there's a lot of people talking. Agent Cunningham said, it's up to you, Mr. Copeland. You said, before I lie, Agent Cunningham said, let me finish. I think it's a 3 or 4 time convicted felon you are. How many felonies do you have? Detective Gaither said, about 3, don't you? Agent Cunningham said, you got 3. Detective Gaither said, about 3 or 4. You said, talking about what? Agent Cunningham said, how many felonies do you have? You said, what am I on probation for? Agent Cunningham said, how many convictions are felonies? Detective Gaither said, it's around 3. You said, I don't know. Agent Cunningham said, let's just assume it's 3, okay? I'm fixing to tell you right now, you have heard of the armed career criminal. You said, you're not going to worry about me lying. Agent Cunningham said, you have heard of armed career criminal with 3 while you're sitting here now, and how old are you? You said 23. Agent Cunningham said 23. You got 15 years off the top. Off the top. And that's before you even get into the time for whatever your charge is. And possession by a convicted felon is 5 years twice. That's 10. So we're talking about 15 plus 10 on top of that. You're looking at what, 48 years old? That's what you're looking at. This is serious. You said, I told you it's getting Detective Gaither said, I told you it's getting real. Detective Gaither said, nobody has time for the bull crap. You said, I told you it's getting real. I knew it. I tried. Agent Cunningham said, that's not including whatever conspiracies you're involved in. Mr. Copeland, if I really wanted to be a bad ASS and treat you bad, I'd probably throw the book at you and wouldn't think twice about it. You got a baby girl, a beautiful baby girl. I want you to listen to it. And this is all at the early in the morning, 9:45 a.m., okay?
All right, I need you to listen. You know you're a felon. You know you got that gun today. So you can't even dispute that. So I don't even want you to try because you're just going to be wasting my time and yours too. And let me finish. With the gun today, the one we found today in the apartment. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to the federal system, it's not no, you go do your time and there's no parole. There is no, what is it? No early release. You may get good behavior, but that's only like, you get nothing. And they typically don't let you stay in Atlanta. They might ship you off somewhere clear across the country. So, whatever you do, I go back and tell the U.S. attorney that's assigned to your case, this is what he did to help himself out. It pans out. Or I can go back and tell her, this is what he said. We found out it was lies. He continued to play games. The
The judge do what they want to do. So what I'm trying to tell you before we even get started, especially while I'm sitting here, everything is on you because I've never talked to you before. So with me, you almost get a clean slate to help yourself. I don't do lies. I just don't because I got too much other stuff to do. And I would hate to have to go back and tell any U.S. attorney, you know what, he just lying and he full of crap. It's up to you, Mr. Coleman. You are I think, is it a 3 or 4 times convicted felon? How many felons do you have?
About 3, no?
You got 3?
About 3 or 4. Right.
How many felonies
I'm
do you
saying,
have?
like, is it what I'm on probation for?
How many convictions that are felonies do you have? Is it 3 or 4?
It's around there, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, let's just assume it's 3, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. With 3, have you ever heard of armed career criminal?
No, I read about me lying.
Have you ever heard of armed career criminal? With 3, where you sitting at now, and you how old?
23.
23. You get 15 years off the top. Off the top. That's before you even get into the time for whatever your charge is, and possession by convicted felon is 5 years. Twice is 10. So we talking about 15 plus 10 on top of that. You looking at, what, 48 years old? That's what you're looking at. This is serious.
I told you.
Nobody has time for the bull crap.
I told you it's getting real. Did I not? I knew it. I tried to.
That's not including whatever conspiracies you involved in. Mr. Copeland, if I really wanted to be a badass and treat you bad, I would probably throw the book at you and wouldn't think twice about it. You got a baby girl. Beautiful baby girl.
Mr. Copeland, what I said, was that fair, what they were telling you? They being the federal Agent Cunningham and Detective Gaither, Detective Gaither?
What happened?
Is that pretty much what they're telling you? 48 years of age, you got federal charges, 25 years off the top?
Yeah, she was lying too.
But that's what you believed at the time, right?
Yes.
And that motivated you to tell the police anything they wanted to hear to get you home, right?
I was always gonna do that, but it just like it scared me more.
I want to go into Jeffrey Williams 240, JW 240CC as Colette. It states exhibit number 378. YE is in Aaron. It's again June 10th. Same interview, 2015. This is a little later. This is 12:08:22 to 12:10:50. And on this one, you said, man, so what can I do? I don't know why. I'll do whatever, man. I'll wear a camera. Detective said, listen to me. I'll do whatever, man. I'm glad you mentioned that, said Detective Gaither. I'll do whatever, man. I promise to God, man. Detective said, I'm glad you mentioned that because last Thursday, Miss Kim Dammers is a United States attorney, like the head person for the federal prison system. And I basically broke down to her everything we had so far in your case. All of them, shootings, all of this, all right? She said, you guys have great cases, but we need somebody with direct knowledge that can take down the main culprits. To us, I don't think you're a main target because you are the target for them. What we want, the top guys that's calling the shots. I know you heard the term, we want the big fish. And sometimes to get the big fish, you got to dangle small fish in front of them for them to come, for the fish to come. So is that something you want to do? Because our case is sealed with you. Like it's not, of course, we would like to, solve some of these retaliatory shootings and all that stuff. But as far as your fate at this point, Detective Dennis said, you're done. Detective Gaither said, you're cooked. The only thing that may possibly help you is helping yourself by speaking what you know. You said, I just. Then Detective Gates said, right. And then, but you know, that's Shannon. And Detective Dennis said, he's on the same level as you. Detective Gates said, basically, I don't consider Shannon a big fish. Detective Dennis said, he's a small fish. You said, I know what y'all want to throw. Detective Gates said, like, he's a gopher. You understand? And that's why he's less. In my opinion, he's less than you with your status, in my opinion. And you said, so what do I need to do? And Detective Gaither said, I want to know what the F-U-C blank thug doing. I want to know what I want to know. I want to know what the F thug doing.
Oh,
I want to know what the F. Goddamn, excuse my language. Where is his money from? If they got to get Birdman, we want to talk about the darn, or it says, damn, Wayne Bus. I want to play that for you. Tell me if this is what you were told.
So what can I do to make it strange up? I don't know why. I do whatever, man. I don't know. I do whatever, man. I'm glad you mentioned that. I do whatever, man. I promise God, man. I'm glad you mentioned that. Because last Thursday, Miss Kim Dammers, the U.S. Attorney, like the head person for the federal system. And I basically broke down to her everything that we had as far as your case, all the retaliatory shootings, all this, all that, right? She said, you guys have great cases, but we need somebody with direct knowledge that can take down the main culprits. To us, I don't want to say you're not a main target because you are the target for them, but we want top guys that's calling shots. I know you heard the term, we want the big fish. And sometimes to get to the big fish, you got to dang the small fish in front of them. For them to come, for the fish to come. So, if that's something that you want to do, because our case is sealed with you. Like it's not, you know. Of course, we would like to, solve some of these retaliatory shootings and all that stuff. But as far as your fate, at this point, you could. And the only thing that may possibly help you is you helping yourself by speaking what you know. Right. But you know what? That's not Shannon.
He on the same level as you.
Basically. I don't consider Shannon a big fish. Like you said, he a gopher. You understand? And that's the way he's less, in my opinion, he's less than what your status is. What I need to do? I want to know what the fuck Thug doing. I want to know what the fuck goddamn where his money is from. If they got to get to Birdman, we will talk about damn Wayne Bus.
Fair what I said, Mr. Copeland?
this what it sound like.
You knew before going in that law enforcement, they made it clear to you. This happens to be recorded, but they made it clear to you that they wanted Jeffery Williams, you to give information on Jeffery Williams, right?
Yeah.
And the only way that you were going to avoid, in your opinion, what you were told, pretty much the rest of your life in prison, is that how you understood it? Was to give information on Jeffery Williams and others. True?
Really, just him.
And it was a lie, wasn't it?
What you mean?
Jeffery Williams didn't do these things that you're telling the police.
But I told y'all that.
Okay.
All right, let's take a break. All right. I asked Ms. Bursfield to check on how the juror is doing as well, so I'll let y'all know what we hear back. Anything before we take our recess?
I will get you those cases.
Okay. All right.